Good evening, everybody. Hello. It's Mr. Graham here. I'm going to teach you guys a little bit of math. What we're going to do today is we are going to do place value. Okay. And before we begin, what our students are going to learn is place value, and when we're dealing with three-digit numbers. Okay. So say we're dealing with like 142. We're going to figure out what each of those digits means, right, from left to right. The 1 would be the hundreds place. The 2, the second letter would be the tens place, and the third letter would be the ones. We'll get into that. But that's what we're going over, and that's what you'll learn in this lesson. Okay? So just to go over a little bit of vocabulary, to what place value is. So place value is the value for each digit in a number. So like I just said, place value is each digit in the number. That means if it's 10, that means the first letter or the first number is going to be 1, obviously, but it's not calculated as 1. It's calculated as 10 because it's in the tens place. That's the value of that place. The 0, there's no ones, so it's a 0. It means there's no ones in that ones place. So that's an example of what place value is. Okay. Digits. We need to know what digits are. Digits are any numerals between 0 and 1, or 0 and 9, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are digits. You put digits together, that's how you get numbers. That's how you get place value, right? So if I put a 1 digit with a 5 digit, that means 15 ones in that place value. In the tens place value, that'll be a 1, which will be 10, represent 10, and 5 will represent 1. Okay. Hundreds has a single digit equal to 10 times. So if I had 200s, that's or 200s. Excuse me. So it equals 2 times that hundreds place, right? So 2 times 100 would be 200. 3 times 100 would be obviously 300, or 3 times 100 would be 300. So similar to that, okay? So that's the hundreds place. So when we represent, we'll have groups of 100, and we have 3 of them. 3 times that 100 give us 300. So that's why we have it in that hundreds place. Then we have tens, right? So that's that second section. So that's like if I have 27, that means I have 2 tens. 20, 2 tens represent 20. So 2 times 10 is 20. And then 7 is the 7 ones. And that's where each one ones. Ones is the rightmost digit before the decimal point. So if we have 342, it's that most right digit, which is that 2, and it represents 2 ones. Okay? So this is just kind of a representation right here of the tens, ones, and hundreds. So right here is just one little block, right? That represents 1. So if I had 4 little blocks, that would be 4 ones. That would just be 4. Okay? If I had 6 little blocks, it would be 6 ones, which equals 6. Okay? And that's how we represent. Now tens is different because tens is 10 of these little ones. Okay? So if I had one of these tens, that's just a 10. If I had 2 of these, then that equals 20 because it's 10 plus 10 would equal 20. So on, if I added another one, 3 of those 10s, 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 30. Now this big one right here, this represents the hundreds. And all it is 10 of these 10s. Okay? So 10 times 10. So it's 10 of all these 10s, and that's going to give you 100. Okay? So this number right here, if we try to represent this with a number, would be the 100. How many 10s do we have? 1 10. And how many 1s do we have? 1 1, right? So that would be represented as 100 on the left, right? Okay, 1 100, 1 10, 1 1, 100, and 1 1. Okay? So just to go over our first example, okay? And I'm just going to give you guys a visual representation of how we're going to do this. Okay, so the number that we're giving is 145. Okay, that's the number that we're given, right? And so this right here, this is going to represent our hundreds. Okay, this is our hundreds. This number right here, this will represent our tens. And this number right here will represent our ones. Okay, so 145. If I went to the store and I had $100 bill, that's 1 100. So this is lend me some money, right? And I have 4 10s. Okay, so I pull out 4 $10 bills. That's going to represent our 4 right here. So this is 1 10, 2 10, 3 10, 4 10s, right? That represents 4 10s. That's why I write the 4 right here. And that's going to end up representing 40, okay? This represents 40, this represents 100, and then I have a couple ones in my pocket, right? So that's going to be 1 1, 2 1, 3 1, 4 1, 5. That's going to represent 5, okay? We're not going to do the adding part right now. That's for our next lesson, but it would be adding 100 plus 40, which would equal 140, plus 5, 145, and that's why we get this answer, okay? So understand that this is how we represent it, right? This went all the way to the left with our hundreds, tens, and ones, okay? So for this next example, we have 232, okay? And just like we did with this first one, we're going to represent this first number right here. This is going to be our hundreds. This one's going to be our tens. And this is going to be our ones. Okay? So how many hundreds do I have? Right? This one plus and this one. That's 100 plus another 100 gives me 200. Right? So these two are represented by 200. Now I got my 3 10s right here. Right? I have 3 10s. So that's 10, 20, 30. That's giving me 30, right? And then I have my 2 1s. And so if I add those together, right, that's going to be my 200. And like I said, we're not going to go over this until later. That's going to give me 200. Oh, sorry. 30. That's going to give me my 232. And so that's how it's represented. Now, with this next one, I'm going to give you a visual representation of how we can represent it. And this is a very simple way we can represent it, right? Not that you guys are old enough, but casinos represented with chips, right? So they could be a green chip, that's 100. It could be a red chip, that's 50. It could be this one. You can represent with different things, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to represent with beverages, okay? And so how I'm going to represent it is the waters are ones, because, you know, let's at this age I like to drink water. The Gatorades are 2. You know, we like a little bit of Gatorade, it's sweet. Or not that they're 2s, they're 10s. And then, you know, everybody loves soda, so those are going to be our numbers. These are our money maker right here, okay? So the number we're given is 562. So since these are hundreds, how much do I need, right? I need 562. That means I need 500s. So I'm going to go ahead and place 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my 500s. How much 10s do I need? I need 6 10s. So remember, these are representative of my 10s. So I'm going to go 2, 4, 6. 500, 6. And then my ones, I need 2 or 3. 563, excuse me. These represent my ones. Okay? And so, now I know I have 560 plus 3. And that's going to give me 563. So I didn't place value without doing it like this. I can have representation, and that can give you my numbers that I need, right? Okay. So, us as our class, what we're going to do before we leave, just so you guys understand, just so I know that you guys understand this, is I'm just going to give you guys a couple of problems. I'll throw out some numbers, and you guys are going to use your own representations. You can write it on a paper. It could be circles, it could be X's and triangles. It can be, you know, the little marks that we have in our classroom. You can represent it by base 10s, but that's how we're going to do it. So go ahead, get out your materials, and that's how we'll use our exit ticket to